Moo got hurt pretty badly there, but there's no point in trying to heal him since this is basically over. The problem with this area is, although my party isn't necessarily underleveled, I haven't been power leveling at all, so it's kind of challenging. So here we are at the Ruins of Will. This ruin has a slight trick to it, but we'll get to that once this battle is out of the way. These guys are the same two guys that we fought as the guardians of the Liquid. Was it Liquid? No, what was the ruin before this one? The ruin just previous to this. That were guarding the cell. Oh, it wasn't the ruin, it was the prison of misery. So they're the same two guys that sort of functioned as a boss, except that now they're just regular enemies. And as difficult as they were then, as easily as I take them out here, should give you some indication of how much more I've leveled since then. Now, I just cast Nimeshab, which is my most powerful single target spell that I have at the moment. So Moo, as long as the target isn't necessarily resistant to it, Moo just did 1,000 damage there. It still doesn't, his damage output still doesn't quite equal that of Deg or Kreia, simply because, well, perhaps it's about the same as Deg, but Kreia's attack speed is so fast that she can just get so many attacks in per spell. Now, in this corridor, if you try to just keep walking up, you'll see that the corridor repeats. So there's obviously some kind of trick. So what you have to do is you have to check the statues and there's a switch you have to press. Now these guys are particularly difficult, not so much the kind of Jin guy at the back, but these orange gargoyle type guys. They cast Diwal, which is like a protect spell, which lessens physical damage to all of the members of their team, which isn't so threatening in itself, but as you can see they do a lot of damage as well. So if just one of them manages to cast Diwal, that means that this battle becomes extremely protracted and it just takes you ages to get through them, and in the meantime they can damage Moo really quite heavily. Like, I don't know, it might just be me, maybe I'm supposed to have leveled a little bit more prior to coming here, I kind of rushed here, but just these orange guys seem to be slightly overpowered compared to all the other enemies. Like, I tend to just run from them after this because in terms of the amount of experience you get and for how much of a hassle it is to fight them, it's really not worth it in my opinion. In fact, there's guys that are much easier and much quicker to defeat, they give you a lot better sort of payout experience-wise. So, except for this battle where I'm showing you, I probably won't show you these guys again because even if I do bother to fight them, it's fairly sort of painful trying to get through them. As you can see, I have to waste quite a lot of recovery items here. As much as possible I try not to use items. They're great in boss battles and in a pinch, but and although they're not expensive, if Moo can cast perfectly good spells, it kind of doesn't make sense to me to always use recovery items. Although, sort of as you progress in the game, the normal healing water, which is fairly cheap, I think it's only 50 gold, doesn't really cut it in terms of how much HP you have to heal. There are better versions, like the Great Healing Water, and it doesn't cost that much more, so it's not like it's such a waste to use healing items, it just, I don't know, my RPG instinct makes me not want to do it when you can just stay in an inn for like a pittance and use spells instead. Okay, so I'm just casting Boritegi on everyone because I kind of suffered quite a lot of damage in that. Unfortunately, I still don't have a group healing spell yet, which is quite irritating. There's an annoying thing that happens in that you only have Boritegi to heal for a very long time, and then you suddenly get a whole bunch of healing spells at once, which is kind of annoying. So on the body of this statue there's a switch where you press it and you say yes. And now when you advance, the corridor doesn't just keep repeating. Now this plaque reads, "All those who enter into the ruin will be repaid with death." So, actually, I think this refers to something that comes up in a little bit, but it obviously can't be wholly true because we're in the ruins and we didn't die. But I think it refers to something that happens a little bit later. So, for example, when I was saying earlier that the experience payout for those orange guys is really not worth it, I mean, compared to these guys, you can just cleave through them with physical attacks. It's seriously easy. I needn't have bothered using Bado here. And they give you, there's hardly any difference in the amount of experience they give you, and it took like a fraction of the time to beat them, so why you would ever want to fight those other guys, I have no idea. So, more Boritegi to keep everyone healthy. And then we move into the next room. Just before doing that, I use a power gem on Mu to refill his MP. Okay. Now this room is kind of unique in that it actually has enemies that walk around on the screen, and if you make contact with them, it starts a battle, whereas the rest of the game is just kind of random encounters that you can't see. In this room, there's actually enemies wandering around. And these guys are pathetic. I really don't know even why they're here, because one hit kills them, literally. They're seriously easy. So even if you bump into them, it's not a big deal. And they give you 50 experience, which is paltry. Okay, here, I'm not sure, I think you can wait for the ones at the edge to move around, but it's easier to just go through the middle. Okay, it's our good friend Tangledown. That's Samnibal. You just look. I'll deliver that tome, I'll deliver this tome to Lord Lufid, and then I'll have his favour. Ah, damn it, they've already come as far as here. I guess I have no choice. So Tangledown runs up to grab the tome, and he explodes. Yeah, he says, which I think is what that plaque was referring to. If whoever tries to take the tome will die, but then Samnibal appears. He who doesn't know his place. And I chose him especially, and then he betrayed me like that. Hey, you runt. We meet again. Don't even think about getting in Lord Lufid's way. I'll be taking this tome. Now, you should be thankful that I'm gonna let you go this time. That's right, runt. And the tome that you have as well. In time, I'll be having that too. The next time we meet, look forward to the next time we meet. So, okay, I'm not sure, I guess the plaque means, okay, that was a flame staff, that Tangledown got killed, so then Samnibal was able to take the tome, or it could just be that Samnibal tricked him and killed him, dunno. And we picked up in this chest the Zam Charm, which is a liquid recovery spell. So it recovers the wounds of one ally. So like I said, we're going to get a bunch of recovery spells all in a row pretty soon. Now here I equip Mu with the Flame Staff, which boosts his attack ridiculously, like by about 150 or something. And then, because the encounter rate in this game hates me, just as we're about to leave, we get attacked again, and by a unique group of enemies. These guys seriously creep me out, like, I don't know why they had to put really creepy enemies all in one group together, but there's these weird voodoo guys. And then, you can't really see right now, but the guy in the back row when he comes up to the front row is just like the most heinous thing you've ever seen. Like, I don't know who came up with the design for it, because it's just creepy. Anyway, I stick to my usual tactic of casting Bado because there's a large group of them. These guys, I mean, the voodoo guys hit pretty hard, as you can see, but I don't know, they're not as hard as their tactics are basically just all-out attacks, so it's not that hard to deal with. So I put Kreia to guarding Mu here, because he's taken quite a bit of damage. See, that orange thing is just weird. What is that even supposed to be? It's just creepy. It's like a gremlin, but gross. Anyway, so I cast Bado again. Unfortunately, it only hits one of them, so that was a bit rubbish. So with Moo, I just keep charging Bottle because there's not really much else he can do. There's again no real point in trying to heal him because it's quicker to just try and get them out of the way and then heal once the battle's over. So I have Deg just continuing to attack, Kreia soaking up damage, and Moo focusing on spells. Luckily that time it hit all of them.